So you're thinking about selling your home, but you're not exactly sure what to do. You're in the right place because this podcast is called Get Me Ready to Sell. And that's exactly what we do. We get you ready to sell your home and to be confident about your decision to move forward. I'm Jeff Jones, a real estate professional with eXp Realty. And today we're going to be talking about getting your home prepared to sell. So let's dive right in.
Are you feeling uncertain about selling your home? Do you wonder what needs to be done to get it sold, what you could sell it for, and how to get an acceptable offer? If that's the case, then Get Me Ready to Sell is the podcast just for you. Your host, Jeff Jones, is a realtor, coach, and entrepreneur, and he can help you gain the confidence you deserve to successfully sell your home. Here's Jeff.
Have you ever gotten up in the middle of the night, had to go to the restroom or get a drink of water, and you stumped your little toe? I mean, that little toe right on the edge of your foot, you hit the corner of the bed or the nightstand or some box that somebody left in the floor. You stump that little toe and the pain just radiates throughout your entire body. How does something so small and seemingly so insignificant cause problems that great? Well, when it comes to preparing your home for sale, some small things that you do could have a huge impact on getting your home in the best condition to sell, to draw you the best price to sell as quickly as possible. We're going to talk about some of those issues when it comes to getting your home prepared to sell. We're going to be talking about some things you need to repair, some things that you need to replace, and some things that you need to remove. You're going to see overlap in all of these because it's kind of hard. Is that repairing it? Is that replacing it? Are we just removing it? I'm going to try to keep it somewhat organized, the thoughts organized that way of repair, replace, remove. But as we work through here, you'll see where there's a little bit of overlap coming in. If you're listening to this on a podcast, I'm going to do the best I can to describe some pictures. If you're watching this through video, you'll get to actually see some pictures that I show you of a home that just recently went on the market that went through this whole issue of getting it prepared to get it sold. So that's what we're going to be doing today. One of the things that you can do regardless of the market you're in is you can research the current trends. What's acceptable in your market, in your area for home buyers when it comes to looking at a home? What are some things that they're expecting to be fixed, replaced, repaired, replaced, or removed? How prepared do they want that home to be sold? Or what in your area is allowable for them to tackle as the buyer? Pretty much whatever a buyer and a seller agree to, it's okay. But you might have some buyers that really don't want to deal with that type of thing. So find out what's in your area, what's most accepted. Is it turnkey ready? Just move the boxes in, unpack, and here you are. Or are there some things for them to do to upgrade to make it their home? Find out what's going on in your area. But this will at least give you some idea of some things that you need to begin to take a look at. So let's talk about repair. Do some minor repairs. What I suggest is that you walk through your home as if you have never seen it before. Walk through every room in the home, turn on light switches, turn on water faucets, flush toilets, turn on tub drains and showers, tubs and showers, watch the drain, see how that works. Turn on the heat and air, look at the vents. Take a look at the outside. What does the roof look like? Is there rotted wood on the fascia board or on the soffit? Do the gutters leak? Just take a look at those things so that you can identify what a buyer is going to do, and chances are a buyer is going to get an inspection. Well, that may be something you want to do on the front end, especially if you're not a handy homeowner person. Go ahead and have an inspection done. The buyer might appreciate you having an inspection done by a reputable inspector. Your brother-in-law may be a reputable inspector, but they may not trust your brother-in-law's opinion of the home. However, they're still free to get their own if they ask for that in negotiations and making an offer on your home. But it might be beneficial to you so that you don't have any surprises. You know, I've got a few friends who are lawyers who work in trial cases, and what they say is that when you get to the courtroom and you have someone on the stand, don't ask a question you don't already know the answer to. Now, that may not be totally possible, but for the most part, don't ask a question you don't know the answer to. When it comes to selling your home, don't be surprised at something that a home inspector finds. You need to be aware of that. So go ahead and find out what that is. Maybe it's something that can be repaired. Maybe it needs to be replaced. Maybe it needs to be removed. But go ahead and get an idea of those things. So when we're talking about repairing some things, taking a look at the foundation. Are there cracks in the bricks or concrete foundation? Are there cracks near windows or doors that move from a corner up to the ceiling line? Those can be issues in my particular market with soil compaction. We have a lot heavy clay soil that expands when it gets wet, and when it gets dry, it contracts, and that creates movement. It's not really a fixable foundation issue without tons and tons of money, if it can really ever be fixed perfectly. That's where you consult a foundation expert. I'm not a foundation expert. I'm not a contractor, fairly handy with some tools, but don't take my word for that. Consult with a specialist on those things. I'm just pointing out some things that you need to make sure you're aware of when it comes to getting your home prepared to be sold. We mentioned turning on the water and stuff. Does it make funny noise when it turns on? Are there leaks? More than likely, an area that tends to leak is a washing machine shutoff valve. When you hook the washing machine up, you turn the water valve on. It's not ever turned off again until you replace the washing machine or you remove the washing machine and you have to turn it off. There is a rubber seal that goes in there around it, and there is a little rubber gasket piece that goes into the bottom of it, a screw, that when that valve is closed, that rubber fits into a seat and completely seals it. Well, it dry rots over time, especially if you've not cranked the wheel, cranked the water shutoff off and then back on. That tends to leak. So when you remove the washing machine to move out of the house, somebody's coming in taking a look, they see the laundry room water line leaking because of a $2, a couple dollars in parts and some labor involved that either you can fix as the homeowner if you're handy with plumbing, or you have a plumber or handyman come in and do that stuff for you. But that's something that you need to fix also, so it doesn't cause any further damage, because if you've moved out and it's leaking, it could be all over the floor somewhere. So you don't want that. Any electrical issues that you have in the home, you might need to repair. We're going to talk about, I'm going to show you some pictures about electrical stuff, but we're going to be doing that in the replace section in just a moment. Tile, if you have grout lines that are failing, if you have tile that is cracked, you might want to consider getting that replaced. And here's where I'm going to show you a couple of pictures. This home recently went on the market. The homeowner was having some issues in this shower with grout, removed some grout in here, tried to repair, put new grout in and repairing this issue, couldn't quite find the grout to match it up, and some of these lines in here, these dark lines, they happen to be where the tile comes together at a weird angle, and the tile inside, it's a brown terracotta clay tile that is brown, and if the grout doesn't completely cover up the edges, the brown shows through. But most all of this is exposed where the grout lines were removed, and new grout needs to be repaired. This grout failure needs to be repaired. Here's another section of outside tile where some tile pieces are missing. It needs to be repaired by reinstalling these. This grout is outside of a roof. This tile is outside of a roof line, and you can see where it's failed. They have some leftover tile pieces. They need a tile person to come in, possibly come in and go ahead and repair the damaged tile that's here. That's just one of those things that are going to draw buyers' attention to, oh, well, what's this problem here? If there's a little problem here, where are some big problems? So let's get rid of the little problems, not hiding something. Again, you want to fully disclose any issues that you identified in the home, especially when it comes to dealing with the home's value or people's health or their safety or their security. You want to identify and make sure you've disclosed to the buyer all of the things that you know that could be a potential problem with the home. Another thing that you might want to consider getting repaired are your windows. A home inspector is going to raise and lower all the windows they have access to. They're going to check the locks. This particular lock on this window didn't lock. So we had a handyman come in, a home repair service come in, and he was able to make it to where this window actually locks now. So we went on and fixed that. That's not going to be something that a home inspector is going to find with this particular window in this particular bedroom. Any broken windows, while we're here at windows, if there's broken glass, go ahead and repair that. If you have windows that have double panes, that have a gas that's inside them that's been sealed, when that seal fails, those windows turn turn hazy. You might have bought a house that way, or you've already fixed that in your house before. If you have that, especially if that's in windows on the front, that's one of the very first things that you see, you might want to go ahead and talk to a window person about what would it take to repair this, which is actually going to be a replacing that entire window. That could be a fairly expensive undertaking, or it may not be that much. I've had some buyers that have accepted a home with windows that way, and I have had some buyers come back and work out a negotiation with the seller to replace those windows, to repair that problem, which that repair is actually a replacement. Open and close the doors, your cabinet doors. Does something stick? Do they not close? If you've got some drawers, do they fall back open? Do they stay closed? Are they hard to open? Just some issues there. There's some simple fixes that, because it wasn't worth it to you while you lived there, you just lived with it. Well, you're not going to be living with it anymore. And when you've lived in a home for 5 or 6 or 10 years and some issues happen, in my own home, cabinets that I built and drawers that I put in, I don't know if it's settling issues outside with the home, but from time to time, a couple of our kitchen drawers slide back open 5 or 6 inches. It's annoying. It's been doing that for a couple of years. Have I taken them out yet and put new drawer guides in and adjusted them to where they fall back or held them shut? No, I haven't done that. It's not worth it for me to deal with. Now, I probably should, and you should probably do that too, but it's not going to be my house anymore. If I'm selling it, which I'm not, if I'm selling it, I don't want a buyer to come in and open up a drawer and close it and then it slide back open. They're going to go, what ghost lives in this house? What's the problem here? Is there foundation issues? Is there all kinds of things that they could come up with that there's not a problem there? It's just something that I haven't fixed. You've been okay with that sticking door or that loose doorknob. Don't be okay with it when it comes to selling your home. Go ahead and repair that. If you can't do it, have someone repair it for you. Fortunately, this glass didn't need to be replaced. This glass in this picture is good. The window lock has now been fixed, and we're able to move on and do some other things. Now, we mentioned repairing some things. Some things can't be repaired, or the repair is to replace it.